This is Lorenzo. He is a third-year university student, working towards his bachelor's degree in history. He is very focused on school, loves to learn, and finds the oddest objects or tasks interesting due to his geeky, esoteric personality. To wrap up the end of the year, Lorenzo has to conduct a research project on an ancient device used by civilizations hundreds of years ago. To fulfill his interest in history, he wants to explore a device that was used all over the world for many years. While thinking of what device to choose, he realizes how important time is in the modern world. Jobs, school, and sleep all revolve around time. So naturally, this piques Lorenzo's interest, which results in him doing research on ancient timekeeping device. While he was researching, he stumbles upon a device used many years ago in ancient times to serve as a timekeeping piece, but it could also be used to measure the height of buildings. It could also measure the elevation of stars or other celestial bodies, and it could also be used to determine when they would rise or set. This device was known as the astrolabe. Considering the astrolabe stopped being used within the last few hundred years, many people would wonder what exactly one looks like, nonetheless wonder what one does, and for Lorenzo, he is curious to learn how it works, what it looks like, and what it does. It was built around 200 BC by a Greek astronomer. The astrolabe was soon introduced to other scholars in the Islamic world and in India. When it was first built, it was used mainly by navigators and astronomers because it was a useful way to track time and their position and distance they traveled. More and more features were added to the astrolabe up until the Middle Ages, where more advanced technologies were created. The astrolabe was fairly compact and only measured 6 inches in diameter, which increased portability and the ease of use. It was built out of different kinds of metals, like brass and iron, but some were made out of wood because it was less expensive to produce. Each astrolabe comprised of 6 main components: the mother back, the mother front, the rete, the climate, the alidade, and the rule. The mother front is comprised of the climate, the rule, and the rete. They are responsible for telling the time by using the 24-hour system, using the 24 symbols inscribed on the outer edge. The climate on higher end astrolabes is interchangeable to account for different locations, ensuring it would work in different places on the Earth. The rete is placed over the mother front and the climate in order to point out the brightest stars in the sky. The rete also has the zodiac signs to aid in the time-telling process. The rule is then used to line up the stars to ensure the time is accurate. The mother back is then made up of 2 components: the mother back itself and the alidade. Much like the rule, the alidade is used as a measuring device to figure out the days, the zodiac signs, and the months, but is also used as a sight, making it easier to line up the astrolabe. The back of the mother also houses a lot of crucial information. One full rotation around the back represents 1 year, and the back is broken up into 12 different sections, 30 degrees each, to represent the months and the zodiac signs. Along the edge is a scale to measure the elevation of the stars. Lorenzo's task is to determine how ancient civilizations used the astrolabe to tell time. The astrolabe is able to tell time using the 24-hour system, also known as equal hours, and it can also tell time by using unequal hours, but for Lorenzo's purpose, he will only focus on the 24-hour system. The astrolabe was used for nearly 2,000 years all over the world and was the first advanced timekeeping device. Now that Lorenzo has learned about the device ancient civilizations used to tell time, he would now like to take his findings and learn why time was important to them. Although Lorenzo's goal was only to learn about how ancient civilizations told time, he has become very interested in the astrolabe and some of its other tasks. Particularly, how does it measure the height of buildings, and how can it measure the elevation of stars and other celestial objects? The astrolabe has the ability to measure the height of the buildings, or, reversely, if the height of the buildings is known, the distance a person is from it can be calculated. This feature would have been most useful to navigators, as they would be able to estimate the distance they are from land. The astrolabe could also be used to measure the elevation of stars or any other celestial body. Being able to measure the elevation of the stars is crucial for almost every other feature the astrolabe can perform, as most tasks require the elevation to be measured, such as time telling, figuring what day and month it is, and determining the altitude. However, the astrolabe soon became obsolete during the 17th century because the telescope was invented. The telescope allowed for more accurate measurements and also allowed astronomers to see more of the sky, providing them with more things to observe. Since the astrolabe was mainly used by astronomers and navigators, the invention of the telescope eliminated most of the astrolabe's clientele, rendering it useless as more advanced technology was now being invented. So, the astrolabe would be able to fulfill Lorenzo's task. He'd be able to learn how an astrolabe was used to tell time in old civilizations, such as ancient Egypt and the medieval period up until the 17th century. The astrolabe also appealed to his personality, as he enjoys learning about new things, especially about things that are related to history.